Today, I drove from Aoyama City to Tottori, the capital of Tottori Prefecture. To make the trip, I needed a rental car. At first, I went to the wrong branch, but then after a bit of confusion, I finally found the right building and got my rental. A Toyota Yaris hybrid. I wanted to record some footage, but because I was running late and taking too long, I had to wait until I left the city. This was my first time driving in Japan. The journey would cover around 170 kilometers and take over 2.5 hours. I started by heading east towards Himeji and Kobe, then eventually turning left at Tatsuno, making my way north to the descending coastline. I wanted to film a first-person view using my Insta360 Go3S. I practiced the week before in my own car, and it went really well. However, with the Yaris, with it being much smaller, I had to really sink deep into the seat so I could get the right angle. Since Japan drives on the left-hand side, it was actually easy to adjust to the roads. All I really had to learn were some of the unwritten rules and road signs. One of the most important is the stop sign. It reads Tomare in Japanese. Traffic lights are laid out horizontally here, which helps reduce wind resistance, especially in areas prone to strong winds and typhoons. Thankfully, nothing was too difficult to understand. After eventually crossing into Tottori Prefecture, I pulled over for a quick snack. Okay, just a quick update of how things are going. So I've got about an hour left of the drive to stop by get some snacks. And yeah, so how's the drive been? It's been really smooth so far. No problems. It's my first time driving in Japan, so some of it's a little bit new. For example, the traffic lights coming out of Aoyama City. Some of the signs are a little bit different, but it's all easy to understand. And yeah, the car, the Toyota Yaris, so it's been pretty good. It's not my car in terms of power and comfort and all stuff, but for a little run around rent a car, driving in Japan, it's pretty good. I'm sure it'll be coming in handy, just the size of it, when I'm parking up later on when I reach Tottori. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm going to have to find a place to park up because the hotel apparently doesn't have one, a car park. But yeah, it's all been good so far. Yeah, not much else to really say. The whole drive's been really fun. Been enjoying it. So I'm glad I've done this experience. I was a little bit nervous at first because I didn't want any awkwardness, doing something wrong, or I knew nothing bad would really happen, but still, I guess the hardest part would be knowing what to do as far as parking this car up. But yeah, it's been a really good drive. So let's get back to it. Because I turned off the freeway, I added some extra time to my journey and had to take a different road. Eventually, I had arrived in Tottori City. Tottori Prefecture has the smallest population of all 47 prefectures in Japan, with around 530 people in total, and just 183,000 living in the city. After parking up, I found out that there was actually a car park available for me at the hotel. The main reason why I came to this area was to see the famous sand dunes, but that would have to wait until tomorrow. The next day, I drove 14 kilometers north to visit the Tottori sand dunes. They were impressive. The sand was soft underfoot and surprisingly tough to climb, as your feet sink deeper the faster you go. Formed over 100,000 years by sediments from the Sendai River, The dunes were shaped by strong coastal winds into a shifting landscape we see today. There are plenty of activities available, from fat biking and paragliding to Segway tours, and even camel rides near the entrance. I chose to try sandboarding, like snowboarding, but with a steep 300-degree slope of sand. Before my sandboarding session were to begin, I went and grabbed some lunch, katsukare. I also had pear ice cream, since Tottori is renowned for sweet pears. This area also has a sand museum with different theme every year. However, during my stay it was closed because we were still building and preparing for the upcoming exhibition, and then it was time to meet my snowboarding sensei. After I told him that I had no experience sandboarding or snowboarding, he laughed, probably realizing that he was about to send a brave muppet down the dunes. To put it nicely, I wasn't good. Trusted Osaka guy to roast my balance, but I have to hand it to him. He was friendly and incredibly patient. You'd probably think that after 8 years of MMA training, I'd have decent balance, but apparently the sand had other plans. Sandboarding actually originated in Western Australia, and here in Tottori is the only place in Japan where you can take proper sandboarding lessons. A lot of snowboarders come here to give it a shot, and apparently it is quite similar. After eventually getting the hang of sitting, I decided to slide down a much faster and steeper slope. If only I had learned how to stop. I had a slightly bloody finger after that one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh. After the sand dunes, I returned to the city for some yakiniku. I had 5 types of Wagyu beef from Tottori and also Omi, which is located in the Shiga prefecture. The next day was my final drive in the rental car, a 120-kilometer journey west of Matsue in Shimane prefecture. I made a few stops along the way, the first being the Gosho Aoyama manga factory, dedicated to the creator of the Detective Conan series. The reason why the factory is located here is because Tottori is where Gosho Aoyama is from. In English-speaking countries such as North America, the series is known as Case Closed. I already knew about the series in the museum, but I'd never actually seen the anime or read the manga, so I was really curious to check it out. Up to this point, more than 100 volumes of the manga has been released. There were other works on display, such as Magic Kaito and Yaiba. After the tour, I bought the second volume of the Detective Conan manga. The first volume wasn't available. And then it was off to my next stop. After crossing the eshimaohashibridge into Daikon-shima, an island in the middle of Lake Nakurumi, I stopped to check out Yuushien Garden. This private garden has been around since 1975. Featuring the usual traditional elements such as ponds, waterfalls, bridges and streams, this garden is most celebrated for its peony flowers, or botan in Japanese. This garden is home to around 250 different varieties. Let's explore and see what we can find. Of all the gardens I've visited in Japan so far, across both holidays, this is probably the one I enjoyed the most. By the time I arrived in Matsue, dropped off the Toyota Yaris, and checked into my hotel, it was already 4:30 PM, and most places were about to close. I quickly made my way to Matsue Castle, but unfortunately, I missed a chance to explore the interior. There are shrines inside the castle grounds. Built in 1611, Matsue Castle is one of Japan's 12 remaining original castles. Surrounding it is a moat, where you can ride a small boat and enjoy a unique view of the castle from the water. This castle seemed less polished or maintained compared to the others I've visited, even when compared to other original castles, but perhaps that's part of its charm. It looks more authentic and aged, which adds to the 400-year history it carries. I then decided to check out the other shrines in the area. This concludes the time I spent in Matsue. Even though I was here for only a short amount of time, I'm still glad that I visited. But now, I had to prepare for the bus ride the next morning